The U.S. Senate has passed former President Donald Trump's sweeping tax and spending bill by a razor-thin margin of 51-50, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. The bill's passage marks a major victory for Trump-aligned Republicans ahead of the 2026 midterm elections, though it has exposed deep divisions within the party. 3 Republican senators, Susan Collins of Maine, Rand Paul of Kentucky, and Thom Tillis of North Carolina, broke ranks and voted against the legislation, joining Democrats in opposition. The narrow passage followed months of intense negotiations and last-minute changes aimed at winning over reluctant GOP lawmakers. Key features and political stakes. The legislation extends tax cuts from Trump's 2017 plan and includes several high-profile campaign promises, eliminating taxes on tips, tightening welfare requirements, boosting defense and border security spending, and raising the federal debt ceiling by $5 trillion. This is a historic moment, said Senate Majority Leader John Thune. We've passed a bill that will make America stronger, safer, and more prosperous. Republicans currently hold a slim majority in the House, while the Senate remains in play after Senator Tillis' surprise decision not to seek re-election. The GOP hopes this bill will serve as a defining legislative when heading into a pivotal election cycle, a chaotic path to passage. The final Senate vote followed a marathon night of lobbying by GOP leaders, including Thune and Senate GOP Whip John Barrasso. Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska held out until the final hours due to concerns over health care and the economic impact on her state. In a controversial move, a tax break for whaling ship captains was added to the bill to secure her vote. Still, not all demands were met. Some proposed provisions were thrown out by the Senate's parliamentary advisor, further complicating negotiations. Meanwhile, Senator Rand Paul remained a vocal critic, particularly over the bill's massive debt ceiling increase. To secure additional support, Thune struck a deal with Senators Rick Scott, Ron Johnson, and Mike Lee to support a Medicaid spending cap starting in 2031, though the amendment itself never reached a vote. Tougher battle ahead in the House. The bill now heads to the House of Representatives, where it faces even steeper opposition. A vote is expected Wednesday, but meeting the GOP's July 4th deadline appears increasingly unlikely. Senator Susan Collins had threatened to oppose the bill unless it softened cuts to Medicaid and increased funding for rural hospitals, amendments that ultimately failed. After the vote, she criticized both parties for ignoring the impact on vulnerable communities. Political fallout and comparisons to Obamacare. Senator Tillis likened the political risks of the bill's Medicaid changes to the fallout from the Affordable Care Act in 2010, which led to major Democratic losses. After clashing with Trump and GOP leaders, Tillis announced on Sunday he would not seek another term, sending a clear signal of his opposition. While several fiscal conservatives eventually voted for the bill, they did so only after heavy negotiations involving Trump, Vice President Vance, and Senate leadership. Democrats seized on GOP discord. Senate Democrats quickly pounced on the GOP's internal conflict. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer pledged to campaign aggressively in Republican-held states. One Republican chose to retire rather than vote for this bill, Schumer said. Others knew how damaging it was to their constituents, but lacked the courage to vote against it. Elon Musk renews criticism of Trump's plan. Among the bill's most high-profile critics is billionaire Elon Musk, who slammed the legislation as debt slavery and warned to accelerate the national debt crisis. Though tensions between Musk and Trump appeared to ease last month, Musk reignited the feud on July 1st, threatening to form a new political party if the bill is enacted. In response, Trump lashed out, threatening to deport Musk back to South Africa.